All right. Link put out on Twitter. What's going on, Benjamin? How are you, man? Give me 1 second. And that's not quite right. One moment, please. There we go. And that looks a little out of focus. Still looks out of focus to me. What's the problem? There we go. That looks better. And wait, back it up a little bit. Back it up. All right. There we go. Okay, mic check 1 2. Mic levels going. Video James, what's going on? Nah, Benjamin beat you to it by just a hair. All right. Let's see. Mike Wells, let me open up the game. Life is good. Just got finished running a 3.5 game. Microwaving since equal news. Nice. Sounds like a nice relaxing day. Here we go. And awesome. Okay. We are back at it. As I recall, last time we had just finished Act 2, and then now we're playing as this chick, who I guess is the print shop's daughter, Saint Sachtia's shrine. Martha especially likes to leave offerings for her. Who's Martha? Gotta admit, this is weirding me out, but we're gonna try it. Hey. Ooh, smell the roses. Agnes gathers chamomile here every year to prepare cures for the coming year. Oh, maybe this is because of how often I've stopped to smell the flowers. I actually don't know where I'm supposed to go. Now that I think about it, but can't believe how quickly leaves change this year. It's nice to see some green this time of year. Horehound is one of the few plants that grow year-round here. Hey, what's his name is back. Wow. It's nice to see some green this time of year. Horehound, blah, blah, blah. Boss Page, what's going on, man? How are you? Hello, Magdalene. They won't even let me talk to him. Weird. Okay, whatever. Church and Druckers. I honestly don't remember what I'm supposed to do. I said Dad was looking for me. I need to grab the mural plans from the workshop at the house and then head to Rothos. They should be printing on the workbench near the printing press. Oh, that's great, but I don't remember where any of that is. So we're gonna do some exploring. But first, Mary, Mother of Jesus. Her painting has been here as long as I can remember. Good. New PC, so I'm happy. Oh, cool. So you're so wait, new PC or new motherboard? Because your motherboard went bad, right? So I thought you said your father bought you a new motherboard? Wonder what dictates Andrea's death and who takes over. Yeah. I'm wondering that as well, to be honest with you. Oh, so this is where I come to sleep? Okay. That's interesting. And then there's an upstairs, which I don't believe there was an upstairs before. What the hell? We were supposed to come here for the... What? I need to grab the mural plans from the workshop at the house. And then they should be sitting on his workbench near the printing press. Oh. Wait, did I not look closely enough at the workbench? Just to introduce my party to the initial main threat of the campaign, a cult hiding in the mountains. Since they're level 2 and there were dozens of them, they chose to retreat. Nice. I didn't go far enough. Being a game master, I know there's got to be so much fun. Night, darling. Have a good night. So yeah, the wife's finally back from Punta Cana. So hopefully she's nice and well rested. And an NPC I planned in the party suggested they gather allies and resources. Did you gather the NPC to help make sure that they didn't try to just bum rush it? The Rothis mural sketches. I think this is what my dad wants. I think these are all the plans. What is this part of the plans? Stop. Huh? This isn't Dad's handwriting. I can actually kind of read this. This isn't Dad's handwriting. I can actually kind of read this. Thank God he's a printer. Well, whatever. I'll bring it just in case. All right, I better get these over to the Rathos. Where's that? Community hall where people meet. Typically a council that governs day-to-day affairs under the authority of a lord. Where is that, though? Go to the Rathos. Where is that? Oh, North Commons. Okay. What is this game, though? This game is Pentiment. Basically, it's about it's an adventure game set in medieval times. I believe there are 3 acts to it, and basically in each act there's a murder, and you have to run around try to solve that murder, and also develop your relationship with a lot of different characters throughout the town. So it's honestly a lot about life and day to day and character building and relationships, but then there's like a murder mystery that's always in the backdrop. Here, let's head to the central town to see if there's anything interesting happening. Awesome. Hey again, Max. Are you serious? I just told you not to call me that. This town is so corrupt. There's like 10 or even small number of good people. This is kind of true. I wanted to provide a romance option in the game for the GF. Decided to use him as a hook. It's a 3.5 D&D campaign of my own design. Proton. Nice. Okay, that makes sense. And you said they literally just got started, right? We're interested to see how that goes. And what are you all doing out here? Don't you have better things to do? What business is that of yours? Not me. All my work's done, Max. What do you care? It's not like you've got important work to do. Hey. Balancing numbers. Anything with household or animal works. Tinkers with the press and type. Tinkerer, yeah. Magdalene maintains and tinkers with the press and type, and sometimes works with Baltus. I keep the press running for my dad, and I work with Baltus on his inventions. That seems a little more important than standing around the commons in the middle of the day. Baltus's inventions are stupid. Doesn't seem like something a girl should be involved with, if you ask me. Right. No one did. Calm down, Max. You're going to get a reputation. Too late to worry about that. She already has a reputation. Ooh, flirt. I get it. You're jealous because I'm not as sweet to you as I am to the other boys. So your perverted mind invented all of these scandalous stories you tell people about me. In your dreams, you're not even that pretty. That's not what you said a couple of days ago. All right, we got it. Lay off. Did you get those things your dad wanted? Yes, that's why I was on my way to the Rathas. Hopefully I can drop these off and start my reading for the day. Reading? What book is so important that you need to get back to it? Polyglot. Magdalene can't speak any foreign languages other than Italian, but she could read a little of almost all of them. Volksbücher. Magdalene is familiar with the most popular comic books of the day, assorted trivia, almanacs, common knowledge, and scatological stories. What does scatological mean? Reformation. Magdalene has read a wide range of contemporary books on the Reformation and Counter-Reformation. What is the Reformation? See, now it makes me want to look that up. One sec. What's the Reformation? Is that referring to Reformation of the church? Oh, okay. So right, this is referring to the Reformation of the church. Yeah, let's do that. The Lying of John Chrysostom by Martin Luther. Oh, she's reading Martin Luther. Absolutely. Um, Background PLG. The Viking show shows an accurate portrayal of pagan culture at the same time Christian medieval time. I've never actually watched Vikings before, but I've heard good things about it. They won't be laughing when industrialization renders their vocations useless. This is true. This is true. This background is more comprehensive. Yep. Awesome. Sounds boring and bad. Luther criticizes the church for telling impossible stories about the saints. Don't let Father Thomas know you're reading that. Why? Would he object to people questioning if St. Moritz and St. Satia really performed all those miracles? Yes, I think that's probably what he would be mad about. Don't you read all sorts of books about trees and birds and whatever? Yes, trees and birds or whatever. That's right. People are finally writing down what they see in nature instead of copying something a Greek imagined centuries ago. Do you have any books on frogs? What? Never mind. Wait, Otz, aren't you supposed to be at the Rathas too? You're on the council. Sure, but it's pointless without your dad's plans. Let's go. Fine. Christian medieval church went under many reformation because all the unfair treatments from king to peasants. I don't understand how we're still arguing about this. These murals should depict the truth, what we know is the truth. I don't think it's so simple, Klaus. Are you afraid of angering our Lord, Father Thomas? I think Father Thomas means that the truth is not so easily agreed upon. I don't know. I'm tired of arguing. I just wanted it to look nice and show what happened. Oh, damn. His eye is closed shut. That's that's rough. Oh, no, it's not shut, but this is that gnarly scar down it. Yikes. Magdalene, thank you for bringing these. Maybe illustrations will succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. It's a great show, but if you're squeamish or like you don't have kids, watch it. It's very brutal, but it's a very good show. I love brutality. Is it like Spartacus? I think that's the last really, really brutal show I watched. It's all right, Magdalene. We don't need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what he's trying to do. I didn't realize we had said him so much. Sounds like things got worse after I left. Well, we've been arguing about this for almost 2 hours. For all the good it did us, he hasn't budged. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? Magdalene, could you speak to your father? Help him see things from our point of view. Father Thomas, I don't even know what you're all arguing about. What is your point of view? Claus has strong, very strong opinions on how the history of Tasting of Kearsarge Abbey should be portrayed. And those portrayals may upset some of our neighbors. Is it the real concern that it's going to upset the Lord? Isn't everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorialized on the wall? You keep saying that we all disagree with them. I don't think I do, not entirely. Well, what do you think, York? I know I'm not the smartest man in this room, but I know what happened to my own dad. I know what he did. It doesn't feel right to ignore what happened to him, what happened to Otto. Look, you all knew my dad. I never had the chance. I don't want to make the people in this town angry. I don't want to make our Lord angry. Pagan culture and Spartacus are close, neck and neck. Interesting. Okay. Sounds like it's worth watching then. What is Vikings on? Is it on Hulu? I don't think it's on Netflix. None of us do, but maybe there's a way to tell this story in a way that's true without upsetting anyone. So, It's all very complicated, you see, Magdalene. Try to get him to consider a portrayal of our history that's a little less inflammatory. My father was deeply affected. I don't think it's as complicated as you think. So you want me to convince him to do what you say? I'm sure that will work. My father was deeply affected by the revolt. It won't be easy to convince him of anything. The revolt was a major event for everyone in Tassing. I know how hard it was for him. We need to come to an agreement or call off the mural entirely. He's been wanting to paint this mural for years. You can't tell him no all of a sudden. Then help us, Magdalene. Your father will listen to you. All right. I won't promise anything, though. He's already had enough to convince. He's already hard enough to convince. Now I'm going back home. This mess has taken up too much of my day already. My. Boom, bang, boom, boom. Magdalene. I should rephrase. If you have kids, don't have them in the room when you watch it. Sorry, my brain doesn't. I understood what you were trying to say. It's all good. Should be widely accessible since the show was popular and is a couple of years old. Okay, I have to check. I'm still gotta finish whatever that sci-fi show is though that I've been working on. Thank you for bringing the drawings to the Rathos. I'm sorry it was a waste of time. Those men don't know what they want. When I tell them what I'm trying to do, they get scared. Then they talk and talk and talk. They talk all day and we're never any closer to a decision. I'm sick of it. Sick of the whole thing. Dad, I'm worried about you. I know. I appreciate the concern. I suppose I haven't been this upset about something in a while. I'll get through it. I just need time. Why is it bothering you so much? We hear all of these stories about what this place was, how it came to be. And it feels like history is something that happened before, happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something, you and I, everyone in Tassing. Everyone wants to forget about it, pretend it didn't happen. You don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin and Rachel and Esther. I was so afraid that I'd lose you, I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter and Ulrich and Andreas and all of the others. Did we see Peter die? Are we just supposed to assume, I guess, that he probably got hanged after the whole thing? Right, and Ulrich got murdered. I remember that. And we lived. Dad, everyone says it wouldn't have made any difference. If you and the others had fought, you would have died. I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped him from going to the mill. Or maybe we could have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. You can't change the past, Dad. I know. The least I could do is make sure it's not forgotten. Something happened here. We were part of it. I need to help people remember that. If I don't do it, who will? You're right, Dad. I wish the men in that Rathal saw me the way that you do. They'll come around. I hope so. All the arguing has left me beat. I'm going to bed early. All right. I'm going to stay up for a bit and write a letter to Esther. Good. Please say hello to her from me. And her parents. I know, Dad. Good night, Magdalene. I love you. I love you too. Ah, joys are getting old. More and more regrets. All this running around has left me tired too. It would be nice to sit down at my desk and just write for a while. Head home. Why does it say head home? Esther in Prague. Okay. All right. Where to begin? I should write to Esther. She doesn't look familiar. Dearest Esther. Oh, she was the one. I hope you've been well. I hope you and your family are well. Dad sends his regards to your parents, like usual. I spent the last few days collecting oak galls with Sister Gertrude. Galls, a parasitic growth which develops on oak trees, caused by wasps laying their eggs under the tree bark. Oak galls were traditionally harvested and distilled into iron ink used in manuscripts. Interesting. I don't suppose you have the chance to do that in Prague, an imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. The city's men made it a hub for German and Italian bankers and merchants, and its university became a gathering place for many Reformation thinkers. Sister Gertrude has been teaching me how to grind them into a smooth silk. It's difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Oh, did I mention Dad started a new project? He's painting a mural of Tassik's history and our new Rathas to memorialize the revolt. The whole thing has me thinking about my own family history, past, present, and future. The printing shop has been in the family for years. I'm looking forward to taking it over. It's going to help her father. Of course, Dad will keep running it until he can't pull the levers anymore, but I'll take over sooner or later. Of course, the printing shop will be more profitable than anything else my husband does. She's supposed to marry Otz? Has to? Why would she have to? What? Especially if I have to marry Otz. Christ, you would not believe how annoying he is. I think his mom is under the impression he's been courting me. Oh, how do they define? Oh, they just put it in red. Okay. Can you imagine? And yes, before you break the nib off your pen, I will come visit you in Prague, I promise. I'll try to make time to visit before winter. Life has been bustling here. Dad's been busy with the Rathos mural, so I've taken over in the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Write back to me soon. All my love, Magda. Go to bed. And I assume it's this bed right here. It's late. I should get some rest soon. So does she have the people in her dreams? Nope, she doesn't. Ah, Dad? Dad? Magdalene. Dad! Hang on, I'm coming. Oh, snap! Dad! Magdalene. What happened? Are you all right? You're bleeding. Someone came into the house. They hit me over the head. I'll go get Dr. Souls. Try not to move, Dad. Magdalene is not safe. Whoever attacked me. This wound is too deep for me to take care of on my own. We need Dr. Stoles. Magdalene, be careful. I will. I'll be right back, I promise. Wow. All right. That's messed up. Oh, at least he lived. Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Klaus? No. Maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them. Are you sure you didn't see a shadow and hit your head on the printing press? Come on now. Come on, Jord. You saw the workshop. Somebody was looking for something. A burglar in Tassing? That's preposterous. Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? Enough. It was a deliberate blow to the head. Unless any of you wish to debate my diagnosis. No, of course not. No. Oh, of course it was the doctor. Whoops. As I thought. Truthfully, Klaus, I'm surprised the blow didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. It's a grave injury. Magdalene, you'll need to help take care of your father. I will. Whatever I need to do. Good. Of course, the mural will have to be called off now. Klaus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed. No. It has to be done. This is too important. Just give me some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work. I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can't we just wait? Klaus, your health comes first. Anyway, we haven't been able to agree on what the mural should be. Indeed, it might be best to abandon the entire idea. With respect, Father Thomas, you are not on this council. Yes, just offering an opinion. I can paint the mural. What? Max, quit joking around. Well, I know you want to help your dad, but aren't you too young for something this big? I'm older than odds, and he's on the town council, and he doesn't even do anything. Yes, I do. I do plenty for the town. Painting a mural this large and complicated will take a lot of skill and expertise. So that's why we're having your dad make it. He's been making art forever. I agree with you, Paul. Klaus needs home care. You're best suited for that, Magdalene, not a mural. What is that supposed to mean? Well, are you sure you're up for it? Physically, I mean. It's quite demanding. You'd be up on scaffolding and could fall. Are you not listening to me? I've already been doing this work for years. I know what it takes. Dad knows what it takes. Do you? I can do it, Dad. If you don't trust Magdalene to do the mural, to hell with the lot of you. Klaus! If you don't trust her, you don't trust me. I'll never do any work for this council again. Damn! Look at that. All right. I say we let her. Doesn't look like we have much of a choice. Very well. All right, Magdalene, you can do it. But you still need to talk to us about what you're doing, all right? Fine, but I'm taking Dad's ideas into account. We'll figure it out somehow. Thanks, Magdalene. Rest up, Klaus. I'll do my best, York. Magdalene, just a moment. Yes, what is it? I didn't want to say this in front of your father or the others. Your father is lucid right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanor is misleading. I know the injury is severe, Warner. I saw all the blood. Magdalene, there is damage to his brain. He may have a few weeks, maybe in a few months left, but he's not going to survive. Can't we take him to see a surgeon? No, he can't be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't move at all. Even if he could, I don't think the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with trauma like this. So he's just going to die? And there's nothing I can do about it? You can make him comfortable and you can enjoy the time you have left. I can help with palliative care. But time will run out before long. I'm sorry, Magdalene. Oof, rough. Threed, what's going on, man? How are you? Make the mirror an accurate depiction and watch the Sanity and hate ensue. Yeah, that's the plan. It's definitely going to be accurate. Brain damage in this day and age was a death sentence. That's why I was figuring Dad needs to be able to see the mural in its finished form. But I don't know how much time he has left. Warner said it could be a few months or... God protect him. I'll pick up where Dad left off. He wanted to paint the history of Tassing from its earliest days to the revolt. I'll start with the earliest part of Tassing's history, the pagan tribes and the Romans. Then I'll move on to the founding of the Abbey and Tassing's saints. After that, I should find a way to represent our recent history, depicting the revolt as important to Dad. People in Tassing might know some of the town's history, but not all of it. Dad said the library in Curacao had those records. He was going to write to the last prioress to see if she had any information. I should write to her now while I'm thinking about it. All right, where to begin? Dad told me the last prioress at Curacao knew something about the old history of Tassing. He said she became the abbess of a convent in Bologna, Mother Illuminata. Yes, at Santa Margherita. I should write to her. A small town in the Republic of Genoa along the coast of the Ligurian Sea. Yeah, any internal medicine, any internal injury, absolutely. Medicine was far too primitive. Yep. That's why you had to be really, really careful with your body. I'm aching. Took a nap, woke up with my dog acting like a lap dog. She isn't a lap dog. Hey, the joys of being a pet owner. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margherita, formerly Prioress of Curacao Abbey. My name, I am the daughter of Klaus Drucker, Magdalene. We are printers from Tassing. My name is Magdalene Druckerin. I do not believe we ever met, as I was very young when you left Curacao. Daughter of Klaus, right, Druckerin, Klaus Drucker. Let's go with that. You were acquainted with my father. He bought many books from the library before that terrible fire consumed the place. I'm writing because my father and I are creating a mural in the Tassing Rathos. I'm going to tell the history of our community and of Curacao as well. We all have only legends and folklore, since of course all of Curaçao's books were destroyed in the fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the Abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear of it. We would appreciate any help you could give us, and we hope you are well. My father always spoke highly of you, especially how you care for the library and its books. God bless you. Magdalene. All right. Hope that was right. If I want to finish the mural before Christmas, I should start planning tomorrow. I should head to bed and get as much rest as I can. Well, that was a short day. It's late. I should get some rest. Go to sleep. So am I going to investigate this attack at all? Are we going to figure out who did this? Boom, 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 boom. Whoa. Okay. Fast forwarding time, apparently. Ah, Mistress Druckerit. I have a few letters here addressed to you. Take care now. Thank you, sir. Mother Illuminata wrote back to me. I hope her response helps me paint the mural. Mistress Druckerin, thank you for your letter. I hope this reply finds you and your father in good health. I remember you both, as your father would carry you between the rows of our library in its final years. I also remember your late mother and brother. God keep their souls. While we did have some books that discussed Tassing's past, it's likely they were as mythological as what your neighbors believe. That said, I remember one of the peasants, Tillman Krutzer, read about the history of the town. I know he died during the revolt, but perhaps his family knows some of what he learned. I should also say that it's not true that all of Kirasol's books were destroyed by the fire. Andreas Mahler managed to save some from the flames. God rest his soul. In the aftermath of that terrible night, cataloging and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. Even so, this topic has stirred a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was a death at Kirasol, the murder of Baron Rothvogel. He had mentioned something about finding a copy of the story of Tissé, a comprehensive chronicle of your home. I have forgotten about it until now because the murder dominated all of our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now because I recall that the late Father Matthias was also reading a copy of the story of Tassé shortly before he died. We never accounted for either book's whereabouts. They may have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps Prior Fririk took it from the Baron after the murder. Fririk had an interest in books of all sorts, of course, but it seems like an odd thing to do in the moment. Then again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Nicholas Harberley, the Baron's manservant, believed it may have been stolen by the town thief, Martin Bayer. If Martin is still alive, I would ask him if he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out of Tassing. If the man is passed from this world, perhaps his family knows where the book wound up. As for the history of the Abbey, I fear that was lost in the blaze. However, as sacristan, Prior Matthew learned a great deal about the subject. I have not kept in contact with him, but I know that he is now the Archdeacon of Sion. He is no longer a Benedictine, but uses his family name, Faucigny Saux. If you write to him soon, your letter may reach him before snow covers Valais. Please convey my best wishes to your father. He was a good friend to the Abbey in its better years. Despite the violence that occurred, I heard no ill will toward anyone from Tassing. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and that God forgives the many errors we made. God bless you as well. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margarita. All right. Oh, Esther wrote me as well. Why do I feel this is going to get even more complicated? I wouldn't be surprised. My dear Magda, my parents were glad to hear from your father. Please tell them they wish to hear from him soon. Speaking of printing, your ink was well received indeed. I've made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wall. Alicia has taken to making her own ink from scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. Mother was furious when he spent several pfennigs trying to find lapis at the market. She sent him scrubbing the floors for it. Took him 3 days. I'm glad you're keeping busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says we'll have room whenever you decide to make an appearance. And if you do take over the shop in Tassing, you'll have to make visits to Prague for supplies. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet someone here. I've made a good march, too. There's a young man at the synagogue, Simond, who caught my eye. His father is a doctor, and his brothers have all gone to university as well. I'd quite like to marry him. Anyway, I hope this Otz fellow and his mother don't give you too much trouble. You really ought to give men a chance, Magdalene. They can be quite sweet. At least, the ones in the city here are. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'll have to come see when it is finished. Blessings. Esther. Hey, Slandered, I have a suggestion for a game to play every once in a while. It's called King of the Castle. It's like Rings, but your audience gets to participate in the votes, and they're all trying to overthrow you. Is this a text-based game? I'll have to write Esther back tonight. I should head home and check on Dad. Hey, Dad. How are you feeling? Magdalene. Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. The dizziness makes my stomach turn, so I'd rather not eat at the moment. Are you sure? I can bring us something light, like milk or broth. No. I can't stomach anything just yet. But tell me, where are you off to? I need to get started on the first part of the mural today, the old history. Mother Illuminata didn't know much about Tassie's early history, but she did give me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Black Till. Black Till? If his grandfather told him any stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans. Mother Illuminata, Magdalene. Yes, right, yes, Mother Illuminata. Young Kreutzer has mentioned those tales from time to time. Yes, he comes by to borrow books now and then. Usually when he's found some interesting old ruins out in the fields. You might ask him about that. Ill Peter's always harmed about how no one paid attention to the old ways anymore, too. I'm sure he'll have some stories to tell him about old Tassing. You might stop to talk to him. I didn't think of that. Thanks, Dad. Of course, Magda. It's nice to feel useful, even if I am stuck here in bed. Nonsense. I'm just glad you're awake. You might talk to Smokey, too. The old charcoal burner seems to know more about what's in the woods around town than anyone else. That, and he's a known gossip. He's always been kind to me when I chat with him. I'm certain he'll know something about the ruins. You may hear something worth your while, at any rate. I'll go talk to him. What about the ruins or the mines? I can't just use books and stories alone. I want to explore whatever's left over from the Romans and before. The salt mine and Roman ruins are the oldest parts of Tassing, so it only makes sense to see what they left behind. You take after your mother. She was always thorough in her research. You always said that's what good artists do, Dad. Be careful, all right? I know the twins mess around near the salt mine, but I don't want you getting hurt. I don't know why York doesn't keep them in line. Always making trouble, those two. They don't have brains enough to keep out of trouble. I do. I should hope so. You're the one running the shop for now, after all. Don't forget your other chores while you're running around town, all right? We still have a household to run. Don't worry, I'll get everything done. That's my girl. I better get going if I want to do all of that today. I'll see you later, Dad. Good luck, Magdalene. Chores. What chores do you have? Yes, but there's also art. No video, but definitely character art. A drawing of your whole kingdom and the regions. Awesome. Okay. It just sounds interesting. I heard of that thread and that unique mechanic. I think it would be really great viewing experience. Where am I going now? Central Town. Yep, we did. Hey, Magdalene. It's not our house. Good morning, Magdalene. Brisk weather today, isn't it? And still, Kraft is out there working with Father Thomas to repair the church. I worry about that boy sometimes. He works the stone, but I'm not always sure he has his mind set on it. He's working hard to mend the holes his father made in Tassing. That he is. I'm proud of him. Worked for hours with my husband before he passed. I never thought he'd take up the stone masonry for the town, but he seems to have a spirit for it. Ha! He's done a lot of good for Tassing. With Lucky gone, there's only so much more he can learn on his own. That's right, and Lucky was worried about not being able to pass down his stuff, so glad he got a chance to do that. I offered the boy an apprenticeship, but he won't make up his damn mind. He's a good man, Agnes. You should be proud. Thank you, Magdalene. I've done my best for my household, despite what's happened the past few decades. Well, you didn't come here to hear me ramble on about my family. What can I do for you? Thought you might have some additional remedies for my father. A warrant is not enough? I understand Claude's condition is dire, but I thought Warner would be able to provide something. I know it won't save him. I still want to try everything I can. Every little bit helps. I understand. Let me see what I can whip up. Can't promise anything, but God willing, I pray it provides some small help. Thank you, Agnes. Of course, Magdalene. Take care. Very, very, very nice. Still can't talk to him. Okay. North Town. Smell the anise on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. Dad always brought anise cakes from Gret to help soothe my stomach when I was ill. Well, that's right. Old boy is dead, but... Here we go. Magdalene, darling. Good morning, Gret. Smells heavenly in here. Oh, I just finished rolling out some raisin bread. I thought that Andreas and Ulrich could use a treat today. Oh, what a sweet idea. Who did she call it? Did they have kids and they call them Andreas? I have some spare time today and I'd like to stay busy. The soul of the diligent shall be made rich after all. Besides, I'd like to drop in on Anna and see my grandchildren. I'm more blessed than I ever imagined I would be. Paul and Anna make such a lovely pair. Ulrich wouldn't believe his eyes if he saw us now. I wish he could see his grandchildren. I didn't always think it was strange that your daughter married the son. Ooh. I'm sorry that his sacrifice was what was needed to bring your families together. I'm sure he's rejoiced with all the saints in heaven, Gret. I do hope so. He was never much for emotional displays, but I still remember his joy when Anna was born. You know, I was angry when Anna first took a liking to young Paul. He was always a quiet boy, but I was afraid he'd turn out like his father. Well, I needn't have worried. Paul is a good man and a good father. He's built this town back up from what it was. It's good to see Elle so social now, too. She's come out of her shell. Wait, can you start a family now? I don't know. I'm gonna see. She keeps talking about she doesn't want to marry old boy. Yeah, she's been asking me for recommendations for the ladies reading. Yes, she's been asking me for recommendations for the ladies reading circle. How wonderful. You are the one to ask for such a list. Also, what I have seen of Rogue Trader reminds me of how Chaos Gate worked. Chaos Gate is definitely a game I plan to play. I'm probably not going to stream it, but I'm definitely going to play it. I would join our group myself, but I'm just too busy with the bakery by myself. But I don't mind that. It keeps me busy, and I get to see everyone in town when I deliver to them. Ah, I've been chatting too long. My doughs need tending. Please excuse me, Magdalene. Of course, Gret. Until later. Ian, what's going on, man? How are you? I cannot complain at all, bruh. Whoa. This is different than it used to be. Good day, mistress. Oh, so this is the Rathos. Okay, cool. Nothing to do here. Okay, still only a couple of places, though. Stone's house. Hello, Magdalene. How are you? Well enough, considering the circumstances. I'm glad to hear it. You've been admirably level-headed given your challenges. For what it's worth, though, Claus and I haven't always seen eye to eye. I've always respected him. Then you shouldn't argue with him about the mural. Trust us to know what we're doing. You already know it's not that simple. The mural will tell the tale of tasking for generations. Dad knows that. I know that. We're both serious about our craft. Exactly. That's why it's important for art to tell the truth. No, he is not going to care about. Dad knows that. I know that. We're both serious about our craft. You're just as stubborn as he is. I know you wish it wasn't me. What I wish doesn't matter. God evidently had other plans. Stubbs, what up, man? And what's going on, Stefan? How are you? Good to see both of you. I would definitely get to see DLC for it and play it on an easier difficulty setting. Found the game extremely challenging, even on normal lore. Interesting. I've only played about 30 minutes of it, so I can't make a judgment on the difficulty level. I'll let you know my thoughts when I'm deeper into it. All the same, the council does not want to regret their lenience. You all, I will make testing proud. That remains to be seen. Go on then, I have paces to attend to. Until later. I don't think we've talked to this guy before. Balta's workshop. I wonder if we could do another lesson soon. Nausea. Ciao, Magdalene. Magdalene. Yes? The cinnamon just arrived for the beer. Isn't that a spice? Yes, with many wonderful properties. The copper pots you helped me pipe are part of the process. Oh. Huh. It's for the Christmas celebration. Already? We're barely into November. The wheel of time stops for no man. But it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World. Jesus Christ. Who has the money can do everything. Problem? Of course not. It's your money. Anyway, I'm quite excited about it. Clearly. As such, alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And for all of Nazu's complaints about the cost, the base ride we're using is free. Really? Yes. The farmers had so much ride this year, they just couldn't use it all. Gret made as much bread with it as she could, but she wound up having to throw a lot out. So why not make beer? Yes, why not? Thank you. Yes, Chaos Gate pours on the artificial difficulty in ways you don't expect. I don't say it lightly. Interesting. I'm sure I'll be checking it out sooner or later. Hello, Mistress Drucker. House Claus, Idris and I have been terribly worried. Dad's spirits are high, but he still gets headaches and spells of dizziness. If there's anything we can help you with, let us know. Idris is always ready to provide. He and Claus have been friends for a long time. Many thanks to you both. We're certainly grateful. It's the least we can do. My CD rather and more Myers Claus. If you don't mind, you weren't born in Tulsing, am I right? No, I am originally from Innsbruck. Oh, he went and talked to the girl. How did you arrive here? The twists of providence are sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. One day this man appears to the stall, all jitters and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. We spoke at length. I was intrigued and soon enamored, as if a candle had been lit. Idris is a man of talent and means, after all, blessed with a kind soul. How did it feel to leave home for someone somewhere far away, uprooting yourself from the life you had? Frightening, to be sure, leaving Innsbruck, my friends and family behind. But it was exciting as well, going out to find new opportunities and build a new life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck. Few prospects for a poor girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market, continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. It's very inspiring, Rusty. I'm glad I found happiness in you. I'm not still unsure. Can't exactly know how life... Glad you found happiness. We all struggle in this world, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's how God has set the world, his benevolence guiding us through it all. I feel I've been blessed, and it's not been all bad for Idris either. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of the smithy and other things. Thank you for telling me about your past. It's nothing, Magdalene. I hope it has provided you with some encouragement. Don't forget, you are important as well and deserve to live your life. All right, I have to assist Idris with a few things. Be well, Magdalene. Until later, Therese. Yeah, Chaos Gate pours on. Oh, right. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to getting more to Warhammer. That'll be #1 on the list next year. Hello, Magdalene. How is Klaus? Ressie and I are very worried. Alive, and that's what matters. Did you discover who attacked him? No, whoever it was, they left no sign. A terrible crime. Terrible. May God look after you both. We've had enough tragedy in this town. Fortunately, Dr. Stoltz appears to have found his purpose. I remember him being so sad when I was a girl. Really so down. Huh, you're still a girl. He was once the picture of arrogance, masked of sadness, I think. Like to talk about how he was destined for better places than this backwater alpine town. How he's meant for the courts of kings. No longer. He grew up. Did the revolt change him? Changed everyone. What's the magnifying glass for? But he's the one who saw the bodies. He's not a heartless man, Magdalene. He deserves our compassion. Ah, but I shouldn't gossip. If there's anything Ressie and I can do for you, let us know. I will. Thank you for your kindness, Idris. It's nothing. I owe your father more than I can say. Take care, Magdalene. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Woslav. How are you two? Very well. The Lord has blessed us more than we deserve. And how are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all on your own. Let me bring you some soup for you and your father. Dad would love that. I've hardly had a moment to cook a hot meal. Between your father, the shop, and the mural, I'm surprised you're not dead on your feet. He's very lucky to have such a devoted daughter. And before you worry about imposing, you're not. Taking care of our neighbors is how Tilda and I serve tasking. Our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God and the town has not. You've always been so dedicated to the town. Your neighbors took care of us in difficult times. Sometimes those days feel like another lifetime. A harder time, to be sure. Were the Benedictines anything like the Plora Clares? We live simple lives of devotion, but not that simple. I'm given to understand they don't make art in the convent any now. Such a shame in that beautiful workshop. In any case, a nun's vows include dedication to a simple life, with all the challenges that entails. But I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. I broke my vows, as did Woslav. Woslav, you didn't. Oh, we certainly did. Woslav, please. So you left the Abbey? Well, we were found out, but our secret was kept. Still, the matter ate at my heart. That, and being falsely accused of murdering the old Baron, terrified you, and rightfully so. We almost account for our sins, Magdalene. I was afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought. 1 second, I need my medication, and I'm not seeing it anywhere. Here we go. Those were the hardest years of my life. I repented and prayed to God to absolve me, but the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days. How's this game been? Depends on what you like, sir. If you care about voice acting, you're not going to like this. There is none. If you care about combat, you're not going to like this. There is none. From a writing standpoint, it's excellent, but it's also extremely slow. And while the trailers made it seem like the murders were really at the forefront of the game, they're really not. Really, the game is more so about life, about people, about relationships, conversations, things of that nature. And then sometimes there's a crime in the backdrop that you need to investigate. So it's interesting. It's clearly a labor of love. I'm really enjoying it. But at the same time, I am kind of feeling like this game was overhyped. It was getting a lot of 10 out of 10 scores. This is definitely not a 10 out of 10 game. So, but I can't give full, complete thoughts until the game is over. The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. I can't imagine that the townfolk were too happy to let you stay. There was some suspicion at first, yes, but we proved useful in the days following, and soon they came around. The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalene. Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it godly. I'm glad you two were finally able to live life together. You both deserve it. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together. May it be many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. Thank you, Matilda. God bless you, Magda. God bless. An abbey's destruction is like a castle being destroyed along with a repository of knowledge. Sounds kind of like Disco Elysium. Yeah, it's kind of like Disco Elysium, but I'd argue Disco Elysium is less slow because you've completely lost your memory and you're absolutely insane. Like the insane nature of the dialogue keeps these moving at a rapid clip because you're just like, wow, what are these crazy thoughts in my head going to say next? Whereas there's no thread here like that that's kind of pulling you forward. And so, I don't know. It's not for everybody. That's a lot of games nowadays. Just because a game released in a vacuum doesn't mean it's good. Exactly. Exactly. And that's why a lot of times I don't care about reviews unless it's from somebody that I really, really respect. Like I posted the stuff about Skill Up today because I respect Skill Up as a reviewer. Like I know he does good work. Toxic, what's going on, man? How are you? I can't see myself picking this up, but after watching on the streams, it seems all right from a viewer's perspective. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. At least I'm providing good content, if nothing else. Hello, Magdalene. Good morning, Magdalene. All right. Oop, oop, oop. Hello, Max. Got your way with the mural, huh? I didn't expect you to convince the council like that. I'll have you know I'm very good at getting my way, Ots. Oh. Well, you won't get any pushback from me. Seriously, I'm impressed. The rest of the council has been arguing over the matter for so long, even I couldn't get a word in. Then you come in and shut them up in a few minutes. We could use more women like you in town. Wow, everyone's recommending Skill Up as a reviewer. I like Skill Up because I know he's thorough. Me personally, he's a little too thorough. Like I feel like his reviews are typically like they could be easily 30, 40 minutes. And it's not that it's a bunch of fluff, like it's all like important stuff, but it's still just too much for me. Sometimes I like the more condensed. Like my reviews are always like somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes, basically. And that's because that's kind of the way I like them. So he's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but when you want a review that's a really, really deep dive on a game, he's definitely good stuff. And I felt like his review of Midnight Suns was very, very impactful. It's one of the reasons channels that make fun of bad games do so well. Yep, exactly, exactly. There are plenty of opinionated women in town. Want to let us join the council? Well, you'd have to take that up with the Lord. Besides, I don't think any of them are as hard-headed as you. You're the exception, Magdalene. You always are. You really think so? Well, yeah, I wouldn't tell you that otherwise. You're an admirable woman. Anyway, standing up to the council like that was great. I know I'm on the council, but sometimes it doesn't seem like I have any influence. Ots actually seems insecure about his place on the council. He may be an ass sometimes, but I don't like to see him so upset. Maybe I should reassure him. You do, though. You vowed to me to do this mural in the first place. Only after your dad did. I still feel bad about that. I should have stuck up for you. Way you do it is just right. Thanks, Boss Page. Appreciate it. To read, he recommended half of Midnight Sun. So basically he said the combat was fantastic, but the conversations and when you're interacting with the different characters, terrible. Absolutely awful. And he actually showed scenes of it. Bruh. The scenes of Blade were soul crushing. Soul crushing. Wow, I'm hurt. I'm hurt to see my boy like that. Being the youngest one on the council has been harder than I thought. I know Baltas and Warner don't think I'm capable, and even Paul has warned me about being too rash. My dad died trying to make a difference in this town. All I'm trying to do is carry on his legacy, but it seems like the others won't make room for any change. Keep pushing Ots. They're stuck in the past, but we're looking toward the future. You sound like my dad. He said that the council was scared of doing. Keep pushing Ots. They are stuck in the past, but we're looking toward the future of Tassing. Thanks, Max. Magdalene. It'll take time, but maybe they'll listen to me eventually. Ah, well, better get back to it. See you later, Max. Hey, look at you. Blacktail. Eva. Christina. Ooh. Hi, Magda. Hello, Christina. What are you doing today? Helping Mom. Ots is right. You're really pretty. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Oh. Oh, thank you, Christina. You're really pretty, too. Thank you. Don't tell. It's a secret. Oh, I'll keep it secret. You're funny, Magda. Hello, Eva. Yeah, strategy gameplay can be good, but if the story is bad, I won't ever play a strategy game. With the bad story, the gameplay just isn't good enough. That's my feelings on it. But mentally, I've already committed to that game because how many games do I get to play where I have both Blade and Ghostwriter on my squad? So I was like, no matter what, I'm going to play it. But man, they're making it tough. I agree with you, Three. I can't play a game with a bad story, especially if the game is trying to emphasize it. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Magda, darling, Ots isn't here, I'm afraid. Oh, that's all right. I can find him later if I need to. I think he wandered off toward the Rathos. Something about the council, but if you ask me, I think he's looking for you. That's sweet of him. He's been dropping by the Rathos more often of late. He's quite fond of you. I'm surprised he has any time to visit, though. He's always working on town council business these days, and he's still working at mastering carpentry, too. I suggested a few years ago that he take up an apprenticeship, but he was determined to remain in Tassing. I think he's more comfortable here, even if that means he'll never be the craftsman Otto was. I help him how I can. There's only so much I know how to do. Besides, I think he feels like he's taking care of me instead of the other way around. Funny how time does that. It's good of him to stay. I would worry that you'd be lonely otherwise. Oh, even if he had gone, I wouldn't be alone. I have Mom and Jorg and the rest of the family to help take care of. Besides, they keep me busy. I'll never want for anything with Ots in the community here in Tassing. I miss my husband, but I'm proud of Ots. He's growing into a capable young man. I'm excited to see him grow into a husband and father. He'll make a wonderful partner. Whoever he marries will be a lucky woman. It's about that time to start finding a match, too. It's wonderful that God bless interest with a wife at least, but I'd rather not have Ots be in his position. Better to marry earlier while he can raise a family. Anyway, I'm sure you have things to do. I'll let you get back to them. Always good to see you, Magda. You too, Eva. Let me go. There we go. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Till. Do you have a moment? Of course. What do you need? Art says you've been possessed with your painting. I'm looking into the early history of Tassing for the first part of the mural. Mother Illuminata said your grandfather read about the history of the town. Ah, fertile fields, that is. Seemed like old pot shards and Latin trivia were all he ever talked about. All of Granddad's reading came from the Abbey's library, though, and you know what happened there. Poof, up in smoke. So you don't have any of his old books? Only a few. Granddad tried to buy some when the Abbey fell on hard times, but they were too expensive. But I can show you something better than books. Evidence? Something like that. See, we don't have any books on the old pagan, but we do have their stuff. Shards of ceramic pots and animals, bricks from what looks to be an old forge, mountain of salt. Even found a little bear carved from amber. Where did you find all this stuff? It's not just me. Carl finds things, Fabian too. Any farmer will tell you the same. It's all out there in the fields, under the dirt. Can't go one season without turning up something. Why are you keeping these things? Nowhere. We just toss them into piles with the rest of the rocks and root clumps. Sure, it's interesting, but we can't do much of anything with the stuff except look at it. What do you think it all means? I don't follow. How do you think these people lived? Rough, I'd say, but comfortable. We don't find much of their clothes or their houses, so they must have rotted. I guess that would mean they were living in huts. But their tools are good quality. If they weren't rusted all to hell, I could probably use them today. I don't know why, but I assumed they'd live in caves or in the muck. They weren't Christians, no doubt about that, but they weren't animals either. I'd say they had it hard, but they got by. Not so different from today, really. Earlier you mentioned something about salt. Did the pagans start the mine? Had to have, I say. Most people think it was a Roman project, but I think the Romans just dug out what was already there. That's why Tacitus was so important to the Romans in the first place. Salt. So Tacitus wasn't just on the imperial road. They made the road come through Tacitus. Do you think there's anything left of the pagans down there? I don't know. But anything they left would have to be better preserved than what we dig out in the fields. Magdalene, tell me you aren't thinking of going down there. I am definitely not thinking of going down there. Young lady, I may have been bored at night, but I wasn't bored last night. I know I lie when I hear one. That mine is hundreds of years old. You could break your neck just getting in there. It is worth it for the mural. I want to try my best for Dad. Imagine how your dad would feel if you got hurt. Try to lie. Then help me get down safely and he won't have to worry. Dedicated to your mural success. Wanted Dad to be proud of you. Was curious about the daily lives of the pagans. Yay! You're bullheaded, just like your mother. And your father. Probably couldn't keep you out of there if I tried. Please tell. All right, all right. Was Blacktail around in chapters with Andreas? I don't think so. I don't remember talking to him. Don't know how to get down there myself, but I know those twins have gotten in a time or two. No doubt they have a trick. And Baltus might not be the most reliable man, but I don't doubt he could rig something up for you too. Thank you, Till. Don't mention it. I'm serious. Don't. This has been a big help. Glad to spread some knowledge around. Important for folks to know their past. You think all this pagan stuff will make it in the mural? I can bring some of the things the boys and I have found over to the Rothas tomorrow if that help at all. That would be great. I'm glad you're taking an interest, Magdalene. I thought no one cared about the pagans but me and Granddad. I should warn you, if you do head into the forest, keep an eye out for the Lord's men. They're strict, worse now than they used to be. Uh-oh. I'll be careful until tomorrow. Till then. We've already been there, okay. I can play a game with a bad story. The gameplay is good. It makes me feel like God. But strategy games just don't pull that feeling from me. I absolutely agree. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I need to use the bathroom real quick and get another drink. Du-du-du-du. Okay. Florian, what's going on, man? How are you? All right, just got down here. Town comments. Brigida. Strategy game. Mostly because strategy games, you're like playing multiple people, I guess. And I want to be a one-man army. That sounds like you three. Very peaceful. What's going on, Michael? How are you, man? Magdalene, how are you keeping? I'm eager to continue. I'm eager to continue working the mural. I have so much to do before Christmas. I'm certain it will be the pride of Tassing when you're through. You've always had your mother's talent for art. And how is your dad? You're one of the only people who's asked how I'm doing before asking about my dad. I know how it is to be the sole caregiver. Yourself disappears behind the needs of the person you're looking after. I worry about you carrying that weight alone. I remember when my dad fell. We cared for him best we could, but those few months before he passed were a tough time for everyone. But I believe God will pull your dad through, whatever the doctor says. We need him. God willing, you're right. I am at his mercy. God willing, amen. Have you thought about what you'll do if your dad doesn't come through this? I'd have to get married. You remember what happened to Ottilia. That poor woman. But you're a good girl, Magda. There are any number of families in Tassing who'll be happy to take you. You have someone in mind, don't you? A few. Why decide before I have to, you know? There are plenty of handsome young men in town, especially young Odds. He's about as subtle as his father, God rest Otto's soul. I miss him. Doing great. Recently finished both Tyranny and the Banner Saga. Now that's a nice couple of game series to go through. My Tyranny run was a superb experience, but the Banner Saga ending was so bleak, but also damn satisfying. You know, I didn't consider it satisfying, but the whole series as a whole, period, is the bleakest experience I've ever had in a video game series. We're definitely playing the Banner Saga. We're definitely going to stream that. Maybe we'll have get a chance to stream it even next year. My cat has joined as a viewer. Welcome. Otto sounds like he was a heartbreaker in his prime. Oh, the girls around town knew better than to moon after him, though that didn't stop some of us. He was evil's from the start. Azat's appears to be yours. But if nothing ever comes of that, know that you're always welcome in my family, Magda. Kraft's a nice, hard-working boy. He's got a sharp mind he can provide for a family. Are you trying to set me up with your son? Can you blame a mother for trying? You're a good, respectable girl, Magda. Any family would be lucky to have as a daughter. I guess I'll consider it. Thank you, sweet girl. Not every marriage starts off on solid footing, but if you pray and work and trust in the Lord, you can find it in time. Believe me. If it's not working out, how can you be sure a couple belongs together? God knows. He brings people together for a purpose. We don't need to understand it, only to have faith in providence. In any case, I should get back to the chores. Remember what I said, whatever happens, you're always welcome in my home. Oh, before I forget, I actually had a question about an old book. Martin is supposed to have stolen it from that baron who was killed years ago. Do you know what happened to it? Oh, I hope this doesn't get me into any trouble, but I still have it hidden in a drawer. Martin left it behind when he ran off. He went to all the trouble to take it, but didn't bring it along? Martin was a thief, but he wasn't stupid. I'm sure he realized no one would believe he'd come by the book honestly, so he couldn't sell it. Why'd you keep it? What was I supposed to do? The Baron was killed soon after, and there I was holding his stolen book. I didn't want Martin to get in any more trouble than he was already in. I never read it, though. I don't read well. Can I have it? I don't know. I need to reference it for the mural. But won't everyone wonder where you got the ideas? I've, I've been talking to people all over town. They'll think I get the ideas from them. Oh, all right. I'd like to have nothing more to do with it, to be frank. It reminds me of difficult times. Stolen book of a dead nobleman in our home. Perhaps it spoiled our milk and turned our eggs all these years. The Banner Saga is one of the best game series I have ever played. The music is especially fantastic. That's true. Sometimes I listen to the soundtrack when writing D&D stuff. Yeah, that's a nice backdrop. Yeah, the Banner Saga was absolutely incredible. I haven't heard anything else from that team who made it, and I've never known how the Banner Saga sold. So I don't know if it sold well enough for them to feel confident about making another series, but they did an amazing job. I'm not gonna lie, when the after credits scene plus end music settled in and the survivors of Abersang were wondering what happened to Ivan and the others, I kind of got teary-eyed, man. And see, that's what I found so unsatisfying. I hate, like, considering all the work and everything you go through to get to that point, it didn't feel like that there wasn't a real true final conclusion where either they were all together again and they just tried to start life back up as best they could, or if at least other people died or whatever, or you just knew they were never going to see each other again. But just to leave it the way they left it, I felt like it felt unsatisfying to me. Honestly, my favorite ending of the series is in the first game, where the boat is we're riding along and you see all the different worlds that you'll be able to visit at some point, and then the music, which is absolutely incredible, playing in the background, like that the ending of the first game I thought was amazing. Here you are. Please don't tell anyone I had this. Ah, Historia to say. Not a copy, but yep. It's in Latin, which I don't read well. I'll puzzle over it in the evening. Thank you, Brigitta. You've been a big help. Of course, Magda. Be well now. God bless. You too, Brigitta. Until later. Did I already? Nope. Okay. Hey, Martin. Morning, Magdalene. How's Klaus? Enduring. Even when his speech is slurred, he keeps a cheerful heart. I don't know what life would be like without him. Klaus is a good man, Magdalene. Tassing is a better place thanks to him. He's one of the few in Tassing who has been on my back all this time. What do you mean? Don't pretend like you haven't heard. Townsfolk have whispered shit about me for years. So what if I occasionally get into a few brawls? I'm an honest man. I wasn't involved with what happened to Otto Zimmerman. I supported his cause. I've pulled my weight around here, tilled the soil, salted the meats, provided for Brigitte and Kraft. I've done enough back-breaking work for this family. Can't a man just have a goddamn rest? I believe you, Martin. You seem like you could use a respite. Damn right. Right, I've lost enough time to this as it is. Time for you to go. Until later, Martin. Ooh, he is surly. I wonder if that conversation goes a little different if you out him as someone who's not actually Martin. Oh, that's right. She's dead now. Okay. Where's this going? Hans Barra. Hey, Magdalene. Well, there is an ending in which you could get Ivan and the others to come back to Aberrang, but it's only mentioned in the last line of the after credit scene. Really? We'll be going for that ending when I play it again. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural coming? I heard you browbeat the counselor to letting you do it yourself. I don't care about the counselor. I want to finish the mural for my dad. It took some work, but I convinced him to let me paint it. And see me. I don't care about the council. I only want to finish the meal for my dad. You're a dutiful girl, Magdalene. No one can fault you for that. But you painting the Rathos? I can't imagine that would have happened when I was a girl. Only those old Benedictine sisters ever did much art. Do you think they were happy without anyone needed around to need things from them? What a life. Except for the prayers, of course. Listening to Father Thomas on Sunday is enough for me. Anyway, it's good to see you standing up to the council. The Zimmerman boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders, though. Once you settle down with him, You have a good life ahead of you. I do like him. I think we can learn to love each other. You're a good-looking young woman, Magdalene. It won't take much to win his heart. He's a good boy. You could do less. You could do worse. Thanks, Hetty. I'll see you later. Until then. What's this? Oh, that's the way back out. Okay, cool. And that's locked. And Simon. Hey, Magdalene. I heard what happened to your dad. How's he doing? Resting. He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried, to say the least. Hans sends his regards. The Bauer household is praying for a swift recovery. Thank you. And thank Hans and Judah as well. I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock of Tassing. I'd hate for him to die. I'd be, sorry. It's fine. I fear it as well. It's best not to ignore one's fears. Do you miss your father? Your real one, I mean. Do I miss him? Kind of. I don't remember Joseph all that much. He's become a haze of sorts, a faint echo, a feeling, an occasional emotion. I was so young when he got killed. Mom said I had trouble understanding what had happened for a long time. I understand. My mom, she's like an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her. Oof. Yeah, you never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory, huh? Suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. I can imagine how she'd been like, stubborn and unruly, yeah? Hey. But can I know if I'm actually like my mom? That's what it takes. I don't see people of wealth and power giving the rest of us much headway. If that's what it takes, I don't see people of wealth and power giving the rest of us much headway. Guess not. But we know what happened 18 years ago. I can understand why the town council is careful. I don't know. I'm not smart like you, Magdalene. Anyway, the winter draws closer, so I got a lot of preparations to take care of. Truly hope Klaus recovers soon. God look after you both. Until later, Simon. Hello, Magdalene. What you thinking of Pentiment so far? Personally, it ain't my cup of tea, but each their own. It's not my cup of tea. It's not. It's a labor of love. I can see the dedication that went into it. I don't feel like it was just a cash grab or something like that. And this is different. It's like different than any other gaming experience. And I'm someone who really, really appreciates when a developer does something different. So I do not in any way, shape, form, or fashion regret my purchase. I think this is well worth purchasing, well worth playing. You know, hope I expose it to some people who might consider picking it up, blah, 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 blah. It's not my cup of tea. It's too slow for me. The murder mysteries are not involved enough. And even more importantly, I don't think the murder mysteries have right answers. And that's actually a pet peeve of mine. If you're going to give me this mystery and have me investigate it, I feel like there should be an actual answer because it should be capable for me to get it wrong. And not do it right. And I don't think that's possible in this game. I think no matter whatever answer you choose, well, hey, that's just the answer you're going with. And any one of these people could potentially be the killer. I don't think the game gives you real answers. And so all of that, personally, I find frustrating. And honestly, I don't like this whole play one guy for 2 acts and then he dies for stupid reasons that I would have never chose. And now we're playing this other one. Like, to me, if you provided me all these dialogue options to turn against the Abbey, to not care about the Abbey, to say that the Abbey has too much money anyway, when the Abbey is on fire, you should not have me running in there trying to save all the books. If I've been selecting those dialogue options to make it clear, like, no, I side with the peasants, I don't think the Abbey should be around here. Like, that's crazy. But, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. I hope your dad recovers quickly. He's a good man. Dr. Stoles thinks I should pay him. Thank you. I'll tell him you said that. I don't give a damn what Dr. Stoles says. Good. This town has seen too many terrible things, but we've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad to health, too. I pray you're right. Be glad you have this time with him, I say. Wish I'd had as much time with Hellwig. Anyway, did you need something? Kraft hasn't bothered you again, has he? Or got into some other trouble? No, he's been fine. Mostly. Good. That boy's a thorn in my boot. Interesting. Yeah, your choice should have had an effect on in the game. Yeah, exactly, exactly. This is a poor choice on Pentiment's developer part. Yeah, yeah. I don't understand why my choices don't cause more reaction. Like either don't give me choices and just let me go through your story, or give me choices and make them actually matter. But don't give me choices that don't matter. That's not satisfying. Yeah, KK. So each murder. So we're in Act 3 right now. In Act 1 and 2, there was a separate murder in both. But in each case, there was these little notes left on the bodies and left with some of the other people who could potentially be the killer. So it seems like there's the murders that actually occur, and then there's like a guy a puppet master who's kind of pulling the strings in the background. And so the game definitely doesn't answer the question of like who was the murderer in Act One or who was the murderer in Act Two. And I don't know. We'll see at the end, but I'm not sure if it ever answers who the puppet string master is either. And so I just find that irritating. If you're going to give me a mystery, let me try to solve the mystery. And then if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. But let there be a real, true answer. Don't just say, well, I'll provide you 4 options and any one of them can be it. You have to decide for yourself who you believe the murderer is. Like, I don't like that. To me, that's not I don't want to call it lazy, but I feel like it's not thorough. It's not thorough. You're not putting enough effort to say this is the definitive answer and this is why. He's lazy, arrogant, doesn't care for his family. He'll bring shame to the borrowed name one day. Boy, think about those are the people's affairs, but Martin, Anyway, didn't mean to complain. Until later, Magdalene. Until then. All right. Town Commons. Where was I? Ooh. Hello, Peter. Can I talk to you for a moment? What's that? I was wondering if you could tell me some of the stories about Tassing. Oh, the old tales, It's been so damn long since anyone had a thought to ask me about what I know. But there's still a few of the old tales knocking about in this skull. Are there any myths from even before the Romans come to Tassing? Of course there are. The Romans weren't the first ones to live here, you know. There are spirits older than the saints that live in these woods, older than the Romans. They protected Tassing before St. Moritz ever set a blessed foot in town. What sort of spirits? The sort that I'm getting at. Didn't your father teach you patience, Magdalene? Sorry. It's Perchta and her wild hunt that scared them evil ones away. They protected Tassing since its founding day. Long before those Romans, our ancestors roamed these mountains under a great chieftain called Ractus. Now, folk weren't as kind as they are now. The tribes fought one another for the best land. The old chieftain was a yellow-bellied coward who neglected the old gods. He was too proud to make offerings. Because of him, the gods favored other tribes, and Ractus' people had no land to call their own. Instead, they wandered through these mountains and valleys, hunting and gathering what they could to survive. One day, when winter was approaching, Ractus went hunting and found a wounded wolf tangled in a trap. But instead of killing the beast, as most men would, he helped the beast and loosed it from his bounds. Was the wolf a spirit in disguise? Of course not. Wolves are wolves, girl. Spirits don't need the skins of animal for their power. Still, you've got the sense of the thing. The old gods are keen to repay favors done, and Perchta is the goddess of the wild hunt. The wolves are her animals. She leads the wild hunt, and the wolves lead the hunts of the forest. Back in my day, folk knew it was bad luck to kill a wolf. Now I'm the only one who remembers these things. Perchta saw Ractus' action and took favor on him, told the wolf to lead the chief to a sacred spring. Ractus led his people to the spring and claimed it for his homeland, and we've been in this valley ever since. Then those goddamn Romans came and destroyed everything. But you see, there were other gods protecting this place before St. Moritz. That's why a few of us still honor Perchta. She protects us against witches and fiends. It's a wonderful story. Perfect for the first part of the mural. Good, good. Nice to know I can still be of some use in this town. What about the Romans? Do you know any Roman legends of Tassing? Roman legends? Pah! I don't bother with stories from outsiders or tales of gods that aren't our own. The Romans did nothing but conquer our people and destroy this town. We spent generation after generation building Tassing back up from those days. And still our traditions keep dying. Only Ursula gives a damn about them these days. That's why I want to know, Peter. These stories need to be on the mural. The mural, Fine, but I don't know any of the old Roman shit. All right. I have a lot to think about. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, Peter. At least someone wants to listen to me. Little Ursula used to sit by me years ago and listen to everything about the old customs. Too busy for that now, of course. But you might talk to her. She might remember more than I do. Used to listen to the widow, too. Old Attilia knew more about the old ways than any of us. I'm tired. Talking so much has made my jaw ache. I'll leave you to rest then. God bless you, Peter. Oh, yeah, I got it. It's not a definitive path. It's wishy-washy for no reason. Yep, exactly. And so, and I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. That reminds me, Slandered, will you be covering Panel of Hell 9 on December 14th? I covered the panel before last. It basically all depends on whether or not I have to work. If I have to work during that time, then no. If I'm able to get an hour and a half off and do the panel, then I will. So we shall see. Magdalene, how are the hinges on your doors? Fine, I guess? Maybe Indra should take a look at them. I would have asked your father, but, well. Anyway, you wouldn't believe how many people in this town leave their hinges to rust. I didn't realize you had such an interest in hinges. Oh, it's not my interest in particular. Paul would like to institute a yearly check of all homes in Tassing. What do you think of the idea, York? Well, it's not a bad thing, but I don't see why we need to make it official. Everyone in Tassing helps each other. As I see it, if someone notices a house in disrepair, we all pitch in to fix it. To do anything else would be unchristian. But if Paul wants to see it through, I'm happy to go along with it. Makes me feel useful, you know. Speaking of, I better get back to work. Nice to chat with you, Magda. See you later, York. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural going? I hope my husband hasn't been bothering you about it too much. No, the council's let me to work for the most part. I think Odd has something to do with that. That boy has his eye on you, Magda. At least he's using the authority to do some good. Usually that lot just meddle around in things that are best left alone. Those men are bad influences on each other, if you ask me. Now they're chattering on about a yearly check on the hinges of every door in town. Hinges? Who gives a damn if the hinges on our front door creaks? To be fair, if your hinges creak, the door's integrity is at stake. Yes, well, I don't need to check every door in my house every year like it's a feast day. If there's a creaky hinge, I'll hear it. Anyway, I think it's good of you to be working on the mural. I wish Artemis and Apollo would take interest in something like that. You named your child Artemis? Speaking of, have you seen them around anywhere? I asked her to look after the chickens, but they've disappeared. I haven't seen them recently, but they like to mess around the forest. Maybe they wandered off there? Ugh, this town isn't that big. I don't know where they get to that I can't find them. Father Thomas says they're only so much trouble because I named them after Greek gods. Says those names have power, but I still like them. Besides, Apollo and Artemis were gods of virtues. If anything, they should be more well-behaved. Names have only as much power as we allow them to have. Can every Greek name really invoke pagan gods? Maybe you're right. Father Thomas spends too much time in his books. Besides, then he'd be in a poor state. Father Thomas the Doubter. Anyway, I better go find those rascals. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Thanks, Veronica. Until later. We can even go upstairs. Hello, Magdalene, dear. How are you? How's Klaus? It's hard to know for certain. One day he seems well, the next Neither of us is doing well. Yep. Oh, Magdalene, I'll keep praying for you both. The both of you deserve the best. Life's been hard enough for you already. Please let me know if you need any help around the house. I'd be happy to help. Oh, thank you, Claire. That's very kind of you. I've been so busy in the thoughts I've let the house go a bit. Not to worry, I'll come by and help. Besides, then we can chat, and chatter makes chores pass quickly. With all my children up and grown and no husband to care for anymore, I've got to make myself useful somehow. Aren't you enjoying it? It's Peter, Big Yor. You're still in the house, though, isn't he? Aren't you enjoying it? I heard that Peter was, well, crazy. Artemis and Apollo have certain ideas about their grandfather, and their great-grandfather doesn't seem to see the struggle he puts me under when he talks about Peter. My husband was hard to live with in his later years. He was an angry man. Peter wanted what was right for his family, regardless of what that meant for relations with anyone else in town. I was horrified when he burned the Abbey, but I still loved him. I felt great shame over the release I had when the revolt was over, that it was done. I no longer had to worry over his anger or whether he would shout at the children. I can only pray that God and the brothers forgive him, and that he may forgive me. You were living in hard times. You shouldn't feel shame for being grateful they're over. Thank you, Magdalene. You're a sweet girl. I pray the Lord feels the same. I'll let you get back to your day. God bless you. Ha. Ah, man. Memories. Okay. I do like the passage of time effect in this game. I like that in video games in general, where time really does pass. We'll go this way. Did we talk with them? Ursula. Yeah, we talked with them. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like that part of the game has been done very, very well. We could go up to the church. You know, we will go up to the church because I know where I really have to go is to Drucker House. Who was here? That's my freaking house. Let's go to the mill. Actually, let's go to Our Lady Labyrinth. See if Father Thomas is in here. He is. Go. God bless you, Magdalene. And you, Father Thomas. You look troubled. What's the matter? Seem to have lost the key to the tabernacle. Holds the Holy Host and unlocked the secure box between services of the Eucharist, God's holy place. Without it, we'd have to go without the Eucharist on Sunday. Philip Melanchthon writes that the bread and wine is symbolic of Christ's sacrifice. Can't you just get another loaf? Magdalene Druckerin. We are Catholics. You absolutely must stop reading that heretical Protestant nonsense. Don't you understand? You are putting your very soul at risk reading such things. I'll need to have another talk with your father, it seems. Once he's well, of course. Oh, dear. Now I truly must find that key. This is a matter of moral sin, Magdalene. Without the Eucharist, the sanctification of everyone in Tassing is at risk, including yours. I'll keep an eye out for it, Father. Thank you, Magdalene. Please, let me know if you have any ideas as to where it might be. God bless you. I definitely chose the right background. I wonder if Sister Amali has seen the tabernacle key anywhere. I should talk with her. Ooh, and there she is. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Sister Amali. She has spent all that time in that little freaking cell. That's crazy. What brings you to the church this time of day? Lighting another votive candle for your father? I was hoping to speak with you, sister. Have you seen Father Thomas's tabernacle key anywhere? He's misplaced it. I'm afraid I have not. Everything in the church has been as it should be. Though I did hear the 2 Gertner children come in last evening. I did not rise, but I heard their whispering for a moment. They left as suddenly as they came. Why didn't you say anything? I didn't think anything of it. Many people come into the church throughout the week. This is a sacred space, and the people of Tassing respect it as such. They respect my privacy in this place as I respect theirs. Why tell me this now? Because while I do not make a habit of meddling, I know those 2 do. And because you said that Father Thomas had lost his key. Their intentions last night may have been pure. If not, however, it would be Christian to remind them that theft is against the Lord's commandments. You're right. I ought to mention that the next time I see them as a sister in Christ. There, I was good. Maybe I just... You're right. I ought to mention that the next time I see them as a sister in Christ. I applaud your spirit of service, Magdalene. As Paul wrote, whoever loves God, for him all things will come together to good. Thank you, sister. God bless you. God bless you, Magdalene. Interesting. Hello. Good day, Master Muller. Wow. What are you up to today? Drawing. That poor woman. What was she locked up for again? She's doing it, well, technically she's doing it willingly because she wants to be able to basically pray and sit with her visions, try to figure out her visions, and she needs seclusion from the rest of the general world. That's the reason that was given. But what's not clear is if she decided that I can't take this anymore and I want to get out, would anybody let her out? Dude, Sister Amali's scared. She just shows up behind window holes all the time. Yeah, bro. Creepy as hell. Anything interesting? No, secrets. Oh, I see. I'll leave you to it then. A child named Andreas. Yeah. The chick who used to be the miller's wife. I think she had another child and she named him Andreas, right? Awaken, what's going on, man? How are you? Good morning, Magdalene. How's your mural coming along? Well, I think I'm off to start the first part of the mural today. I'll paint the founding of Tassing and the Romans. Well, you won't want for any models. Tassing is littered with Roman ruins. It's almost a nuisance. I'll trust you take the council's opinions on the matter into account. Of course, Paul. The mural is for the entire town. Of course, Paul. The mural is for the entire town, not just me and my father. That's reassuring to hear, Magdalene. Your face doesn't seem like it's reassuring. Your father's a stubborn man when he wants to be. Age has made him strong-minded. Perhaps you are better suited to this project than he is. All I ask is that you keep the Lord in mind. The mural's for Tassing, but we have others to appease as well. I understand. Thank you, Magdalene. Anyway, I'm glad that the mural's coming along well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. Been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting, I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. She says I'm going to get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. I don't think the council work was all that serious. Maybe you should take some time out. Is the council working on something new? We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tassing. The ideas had quite a bit more pushback than we'd expected. No ideas always face. I can understand the utility proposition, but it might feel like a nuisance. Precisely. That's the issue we've run into. This would help protect those in Tassing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. Widows like Agnes or Gret. But without instituting it for the whole town, we can't enforce the proposition. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I had better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. God bless you. Until later, Paul. Whoa, full house. Magaline. Hello, Ulrich. Hello. What are you doing? Watching. Very well. Keep up the good work. Work. Just like Mom. I will work now. God bless you, Magdalene. Magdalene, can I help you with something? I came to see how you're doing. Well enough. Even I don't know why you care. Even if I don't know why you care. The people in this town have to stick together. I suppose, especially those of us who have little left, who have suffered and lost. If only my poor dear, if Linhart would have survived. Linhart? I've always heard he was an awful man. We had our problems, but it wasn't his fault. The people here made him that way. Woo! Lordy, lordy, lordy. You know how the peasants are. So he was. Quick-tempered sometimes. But he had to be. He was under a lot of stress trying to live up to his father's expectations, maintaining a good standing of living for us, his family. He wasn't all bad. With all his faults, he didn't leave me alone. But he did. His own actions caused what happened in the end. Else, you're looking at the past through a twisted lens, ignoring the pain he caused you. What does it matter now? I'm alone. Forever alone, carrying the weight of death. Leave me be, please. Oof. Rough. Rough, rough, rough. Statue of St. Moritz has seen better days, I'm sure. Or it's not. I can smell the endless on the breeze. It reminds me of when I was little. What's going on, Mike? Ulrich is a murderer. Ulrich is dead. Nah, she's Magdalene's got that deep voice. You sure she's not the killer? Nah, she's coping hard. Damn. Let's see. Yeah, this looks in total disarray. Can I even get inside the Abbot's house? Nope. Yeah, this whole area has been abandoned. Yes, I'm sure that's of great benefit to the community. All right. So there are some people here. Shrine's still here. Who'd have thunk it? Whoops. The hand of St. Moritz. The poor Clares take care of it now that the Benedictines are gone. Little Ulrich. Oh, hello, Magda. You wouldn't happen to be going to the convent? Why do you ask? Are you thinking of joining the poor Clares? Maybe. Why on earth would you want to do that? Be honest, what do I have to look forward to? With Dad injury and me unwedded 25, older than all the boys in town, if they don't see me as a sister, they see me as a mom. And when Dad dies, not anytime soon, God willing, I won't be able to claim the farm. I'll lose my home. With Anton gone, there's nobody to take over. You still get married before that time comes. I understand times are tough, but are you sure this would make you really happy? It would bring me closer to the Lord. Shouldn't we all want that? Why not withdraw from the trials of the world? You know as well as I, it's not safe out here. The Abbey's walls didn't protect it during the revolt. I still don't think it's possible to escape sorrow in this life. Only in heaven are we free. If I die in service of God, I know at least heaven awaits me. By joining the poor Clares is a lifeline commitment. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't think you should join the order. You could just throw your you can't just throw your life away over one bad day. Scoffed at the idea of being a nun. But I wouldn't be throwing my life away, Magdalene. Paul wrote that there is no greater reward than living for Christ. I want to live a life with meaning, and I've always admired the sister's dedication. Besides, if I join the order, Dad won't have to worry about what happens to me. I pray about it, but I think it's time I talk to Mother Francesca and the others. Interesting. So there's a mother here. So I'll gather my courage, what little of it I have left. If you think that's best, just be sensible, Martha. I will. Until later, be well. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Sister Gertrude. Are you doing all right? Father Thomas told us about your father's attack. You were incredibly courageous to run to Dr. Stoll so quickly, especially when the attacker could have been about. It's thanks to you, really. Without reading Hildegard's Physicia, I wouldn't have realized he was so badly hurt. Medical treatise of Hildegard of Bingen, saint and doctor of the church. It represents 9 categories of healing: plants, elements, trees, stones, fish, birds, animals, reptiles, and metals. Well, I'm glad she came in useful, although I wish we were not under such dire circumstances. I lit an extra votive candle at St. Satia's shrine for each of you this morning. Votive candles, small candles lit during prayer in churches, symbolizing a specific offering or quest on the behalf of the prayer giver. Thank you, Sister Gertrude. Dad's spirits have been up, but I know he doesn't have much time. Dad says the pain has gone down. He hasn't been able to get help or walk around without my help. Sister Gertrude, thank you. Dad's spirits have been up, but I know he doesn't have much time. Have faith, child. The Lord cares for Klaus, just as he cared for his son. I'll see if I have any psyllium left in the convent. If you blend it with broth or warm wine, it will heat his brain and prevent further infection. Thank you, sister. I'm grateful for all the help everyone in Tassing has provided. The church is the body of Christ, Magdalene. We are all one community and want to help Klaus before his time. God will turn this for good, no matter what things look like now. He sees beyond time itself, but we are constricted by the present. I've been around long enough to see his fruits, even when I thought the devil had burned the fields. Keep faith, Magdalene. Thank you, sister. Your words warm my heart. God bless you, sister. God bless you, Magdalene. Anything in here? Nope. Don't mean me. I should gather some mugwort to help break Dad's fever, but not be as powerful as when we gather it on St. John's Eve, but it should still work. All right. Whoops. Come on. Boo, boo, boo. Hello, Margaret. It's Magdalene. Oh, Magdalene, God bless you. You don't normally come to the convent alone. What brings you here? Not that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have visitors. I have some spare time and thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. Ha ha. It's good to hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Yes, sometimes. I miss the other Benedictine sisters especially. She'd never admit it, but Sister Lisbeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Why stay then? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictines left Curacao? Ha! Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. Curacao is my home. I don't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convent's ins and outs was hard enough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude had already planned to stay too. The garden always needs tending, and two hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave Mossfinger behind. Curacao is a wonderful place to call home. Has the convent changed very much since the poor Clares arrived? Yes, the food is simpler. Some of the prayers are different, but all the chores and gardening is the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Of course, sister. Apologize for interrupting. Not at all, Magdalene. God bless you. That one, I can't even knock. Okay. Oh, it won't let me get any further, right? They still have a mother. Why did Illuminata leave? She should be there helping to pick up the pieces. God bless you, Magdalene. I had been hoping to speak with you. Do you perhaps have a moment? Of course, Mother. How can I help? I had heard that you had taken up the mural on Rathos after your father's terrible attack. Yes, I'm excited to paint the town's history. Your enthusiasm and insistence is most troubling to some people in town. People? Yes, Magdalene, myself included. I understand how much you have struggled with your mother passing while you were so young. Without a maternal figure to guide you, it is no wonder your spirit has wandered and wavered from its nature. I'm not sure what you mean, Abbess. The pursuit of such trades is not for women, but men. As Paul writes, God calls women to work at home, not in trades. While supporting your father is laudable, taking on his work is imprudent. That's interesting. There are plenty of young men in tasking worthy of you, or perhaps you have a different calling. I'd like to offer you a place here among the sisters. I understand you may disagree with my choices, but I'm not going to start painting the mural, Mother Francisca. How unfortunate. I still have high hopes for you, Magdalene. God bless you. Okay. Oops. Down. Down to dungeon. Oops. No. Come on. I hate when it does that. There. All right. Upper Abbey. Went through those two. And church is all burnt to a crisp. All right. I'm actually falling asleep. I think I didn't get enough sleep from last night. I really, really wanted to go ahead and tough this out and finish this game, but I think it's actually going to take a while to get through Act 3. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it here rather than push it and keep wavering back and forth, almost falling asleep. Hopefully I should be able to get a good night's rest tonight. And then I probably will try to go ahead and stream tomorrow, to be honest with you. Because I really, 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 really want to get done with this game before Midnight Suns comes out. So, only way to do that is to go ahead and stream it until it's finished on Thursday, tomorrow. But for now, I need to go ahead and get some rest so I can be at my very best for work tomorrow. Hope all of you enjoyed the stream. Hope all of you have an absolutely fantastic evening. And I will see you all in the next stream. Take care. Take care, Philip. Have a good one, man. Take care, Michael. Yep, have a good one, Toxic.